A very warm welcome to the 12th episode of the podcast of the World Wind Energy Association. My name is Stefan Gsänger, and I have the pleasure to talk today with my guest about an important Asian country, an important Asian market. It's a bit special day today because I am at the moment these days attending the Hamburg Wind Energy Fair. It's a very big event, probably the biggest wind event this year, with they say around 40,000 people coming from 100 countries, many exhibitors there. There's a big international participation. I've seen many companies, also colleagues from China, from India, also from Pakistan. And I have the pleasure today that I can speak with a colleague who's very knowledgeable and he knows has the practical experience in wind power in Pakistan. So at first, a warm welcome to Mirza Muhammad Umer. Hello.
Hi, Mr. Stefan. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. And I just told you about, I'm full of impressions now. Now, we want to talk about Pakistan today. Before we go into detail and maybe the current developments, etc., I now also got some news here. For our audience, maybe you can briefly introduce yourself. You are working for Goldwind in Pakistan. Let me mention that already. But when have you started personally to work with wind power, and how have you then come to work with Goldwind? What's your role?
Okay. Thank you so much for inviting me for this, online broadcast. I think it is a great chance to, at least, to let the world know the updated status of the Pakistan market about the wind and the renewable energy sector. So first of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Mirza Muhammad Umer, and I am from Pakistan. And I am with Goldwind since 2016.
Mhm.
Yeah, I did my internship first in Goldwind, and then I officially joined the Goldwind in 2017. So basically, I was based on one project in Pakistan first, and then I started as a sales representative in Pakistan for the Goldwind.
Mhm.
So I'm looking after the sales in Pakistan right now and Sri Lanka as well. So at this
Okay.
moment,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah.
So
So yeah, please.
you have not just the perspective of the Pakistani market, but also other markets. And I understand that you're also traveling frequently to China because the company is from there, but you also
Yeah,
know very well what happens. So you have a
yeah.
kind of broader view on this.
Yeah,
Now
exactly.
let's.
So yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Please, we can start. You
Yeah,
can-
so what we're talking about Pakistan, and I personally visited my first visit to Pakistan is it's almost exactly 20 years ago. What I've noticed is, of course, Pakistan has had over those past decades, probably before as well, challenges with the power supply. Um, how what's this the kind of the development of wind power? When did it start? When did the first wind turbines? Was it already before that? I remember that some people showed us already some small wind turbines which were installed at the time. Can you briefly explain how wind power developed in Pakistan?
Yes, basically, in Pakistan, the first wind project was once the wind market established in Pakistan around 2008. Since then, the government started working on different policies related to renewable energy, and at that time, the Pakistan at that time not a very in aggressive mood to move towards renewable energy at that time, and people don't have enough knowledge to promote renewable energy sector in Pakistan. So in
Mhm.
2008, the Pakistan government started to making the policies related to renewable energy, in which wind and solar and hydro is also part of that, but wind and solar is most important related to renewable energy. So
Mhm.
at that time, so the wind study started for the different sites in Pakistan since 2008. So there was the new board has been came in, that is ADB, Alternative Energy Development Board. So
Mhm.
that was the specifically made for to promote the renewable energy at that time. So
Mhm.
yes, after that they made some policies and took a lot of time to make the feasibility studies of that specific land. basically, I would like to tell you that there is one corridor in Pakistan, in Jimpir, especially in Sindh province, that
Mhm.
that is called Jimpir, and
That's
that Jimpir region,
in the
yeah,
south,
exactly.
not just for those people who don't know Pakistan. That's in the
Yeah,
south.
yeah, south side.
Mhm.
Yeah, south side. Right. In Sindh province. So that is the biggest province in Pakistan as well. And in that region, that is only wind corridor in that region. I mean, on the south side, that is called Jimpir and Gar. The wind corridor. So at that time, the government started to make some feasibility studies, and the wind conditions, what type of condition, temperature, and this type of things they started at that time. So since I am with Goldwind, so I joined, as I just mentioned, I joined the Goldwind in 2016. So before that, my senior management was already involved in Pakistan at that time.
Mhm.
So 2014 was the first project which we installed in Pakistan, that is China 3 Gorges. And
Mhm.
we have provided around 33 units of 1.5 megawatt. That
Mhm.
was the first project for the Goldwind as a Chinese OEM. But that was a big achievement for the Goldwind at that time. So, but after that, there are different mechanism came in. That kind of there was cost plus, and then there is the feed-in tariff. Then there is upfront mechanism. There are different policies came in, and different mechanism came in to promote the renewable energy, and the government gave a lot of benefits to the developers who was investing for these projects. But
Mhm.
later on, in from 2017, it has been uh, converting towards kind of, people want to have some kind of auctions or competitive bidding process in the country. But finally there was a policy made in 2019, that is, there is no more cost plus, no upfront mechanism, no any other mechanism that can help to develop the renewable energy in Pakistan. But specifically, they mentioned in that policy, in RE 2019 policy, it was clearly mentioned that there is no more cost plus, no upfront mechanism, only
Mhm.
competitive bidding will be happen to promote this renewable energy, as in other world they are practicing at this time.
Mhm.
So yeah, at this moment, so in that phase, our 2019 they made this policy, and now the government is kind of try to implement this policy in Pakistan. So this was the first example. Recently, I want to mention this. Recently, the Karachi Electric, they started this first of its kind. I mean, first of its kind in Pakistan, that is competitive bidding happened, and all the developers participated in a quite aggressive way. They submitted their bids, and
Mhm.
total six developers were there who participated
Mhm.
in this bid. So the result has been announced. That was quite impressive. I mean, the bid was around 3.8 US cents around. So this is
Oh,
the lowest
cool.
in the country. Yeah. Before it
Oh.
was the last cost plus was closed at 4.7 somewhere. Yeah.
Mhm.
So it is the lowest in the country at this time.
Okay. Well, let's come back to the current situation. Maybe after a while, let me first ask you a little bit about the situation. I mean, I was, and let's also mention, because you mentioned the Alternative Energy Development Board, there
Yeah.
was Shahid Hamid, the chairman, actually, when I first time visited Pakistan, who
Yeah.
played an important role. So there was, I think, also some organizations that were driving that development, which was certainly very useful. And when we look at the energy market today in Pakistan, what is how many megawatt do you have from wind power? And what's the share and what's the overall kind of energy landscape? How does it look like at the moment?
Yeah, at this moment, if we just only talk about the wind, I think that wind capacity in Pakistan at this moment is not quite high. You can say it is around 1,842 megawatt
Mm,
capacity has been installed in Jampir and Garo region together.
mm,
So this is, I think, this is not, you can say, renewable energy if we add solar as well. So specifically, wind and solar is around 3 to 5% of total energy
total
mix.
energy. Okay. And
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the power supply? Is that
In
power
the
or
power,
in the energy? Mm.
so can you please repeat what you just mentioned?
Is it for the power supply or energy in total?
No, it is energy in total.
Okay. And in the power supply, what's the share of wind and solar? I mean, that must be then higher, no?
No, it is just I would like to mention it is around 3 to 5% is total installed capacity of wind and solar
Oh.
in total energy mix.
And
Yeah.
what are the other sources? What are the main sources at the moment of electricity?
Yeah, at this moment, the you in Pakistan, especially, for fuel and thermal projects are more, you can say 65%, 65 to 70% is around, that is from fossil fuel.
Mhm. Now
So the
we,
remaining from hydro as well, and from the wind. And so solar is not quite high. Solar is around 700 to 800 megawatt, and the wind is, I just mentioned, 1842 megawatt, and remaining all just are some minor from the hydro, and remaining all from the fossil fuels.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now we had not that long ago an energy crisis, an energy price crisis, I would say, which in country like I'm based in Germany, we suddenly had almost doubling electricity prices for consumers. Which was caused by, I mean, with the Russian invasion in Ukraine, the gas price suddenly went up. That was mainly affecting Europe because we didn't have enough gas. But I think that drove the power prices in Europe, but it had also an impact in maybe even worse in Pakistan, although not being directly part of that kind of conflictual situation. What was the impact, or is there still an impact? Is there a shortage, or did that lead to also power price increases? And I think it would also have maybe promoted wind energy. How is that situation?
Yeah, right now, in Pakistan, it's not a big conflict from because of that war. There is, of course,
Mm,
but not a big. But in Pakistan at this moment, we all we mostly based on imported oil, basically.
mm,
So as I just mentioned, wind and solar is not too much in the country at this moment. Just
mm,
if we just include wind and solar together, so it is not more than 3 gigawatt.
mm,
So it is so at this moment, in our country right now there is kind of 43,000 megawatt production is happening
mm,
at this moment. But if you can see the supply, maybe the need of the country is around 33,000 megawatt. Remaining all, you can say, at this moment we are facing some transmission line issues as well. And after that, the energy prices, as you just mentioned, the energy prices are quite high at this moment because, few of the projects are based on imported coal,
mhm.
imported
Okay.
oil,
Mhm.
and the LNG as well.
That's what
So,
I was my question referring to,
yeah,
because
yeah,
suddenly Europe started to buy LNG everywhere,
yeah.
and then obviously the prices went up for that a lot, huh?
Yeah, exactly. So we, in Pakistan, most of the energy based things is imported. So we also have a lot of effect on US dollars as well, and we
Mm,
always import these things from other countries. So when in the prices goes in international market high, so of course it will impact on Pakistan as well.
mm,
So
mm,
and there is one more. So we also under IMF program at this moment. So that is also affecting us in that case because they also ask so many things from the government to how to uh, increase the prices, how to lower the prices. So they have a bit control as well on this point. So
okay.
of course the prices at this moment is really high. Around the residential use, if we just talk about, is around 13 to 14 US cents at this moment,
Oh,
which is quite high. So
yeah.
I would like to mention one thing at this moment related to industrial things, industrial
Mm,
projects. So in a few of the industries located in Karachi and Jimpi, Nuriabad, where the wind corridor is, they
mm,
were producing the electricity for their own use by that by using the diesel generator and the gas generators.
okay.
But at this
Mm,
moment, as I just mentioned, the diesel is the price is quite high, and at this moment we don't have enough gas to supply to the industries.
oh.
So they have invested a lot on to make that system to produce electricity for their own use. So they cannot run properly. If they can run properly, but they have to buy the very expensive electricity, and they are the biggest exporters who are running the country at this moment. So
Mhm,
they cannot produce electricity cheaper, and of course their product will be expensive, so they are less competitive in international markets. They cannot sell their products basically. So this is what we are facing at this moment. So I would like to mention at this moment, maybe later you will try to ask same question as well, because there is some transition is going on in Pakistan, especially
Mhm.
for the renewable energy. So we
Mhm.
have as a Goldwind, we have sold around a 76 megawatt at this moment, just to the industries, because those industries have benefits because they are located in wind corridor. And Karachi, in and Karachi's, the solar is also very have good advantage because of sunlight. So this is so those industries are moving towards renewable energy. They have
Mhm.
different kind of energy mix at this moment. They installed solar, they installed wind, they have the diesel generator, gas generator. So they have combination of 4 5 different energies. So they are just why they are moving towards just to lower their prices, and they can, based on this, they can compete in international market. So this is we just because of electricity prices high,
Mhm.
we are facing a lot of challenges. The people, um, um, uh, if they are using electricity at home, they have to, even they are using the same amount of energy which they were using 2 years back, but they have to pay double or maybe more than double. So this is,
Mhm.
yeah, it's quite impressive. So now most of the people who have money and who have resources, they are moving towards solar. They're installing the solar on their rooftop. This is very big, uh, you know um, uh, impressive thing happening in Pakistan at this moment.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That
So
is very interesting. I mean, yeah,
yeah,
what we're describing here. So it's really kind of an existential question. If you say that those export industries are
yeah,
now suffering and they need to have cheap and probably also reliable, as you referred to the problems with LNG supply.
yeah.
That's a key question, for your country.
Yeah, exactly. And basically, these from our government, they are not giving them the benefits, not to those industries. Basically, they should give, but they cannot give. I don't know what. There are so many economic situation in the country, and the IMF loan, and they are controlling each and everything in Pakistan.
Mhm.
So of course, we are facing a lot of issues at this moment. So the grid price is very high for the industries. You maybe more than around more than 15 cents or around 20 cents for the industries is higher than the residential, the
Is it?
kilowatt.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah. So that's why they don't have any option. Otherwise, they cannot survive. They cannot sell anything in international market at this moment. And there was one more thing, why they this was the first reason that those industries are moving towards renewable energy, because of higher grid prices, first thing. And the second thing, they are the exporters to the US and the European countries especially. So they need that green tag as well. This is also big, I think, use for us, so we can have some new things in the market, because for last 4 or 5 years nothing has happened in the wind market.
Mhm.
Market was totally silent, there was nothing.
Mhm.
So but
Mhm.
suddenly, because of this energy crisis and energy prices, so they started to move towards renewable energy. So something, there is some movement in, since June 2023 to till now. So there's a
Mhm.
big change in market. Wherever they cannot install the wind, they are installing solar. If they can install the wind, they are installing, try to solar and wind together. And right now there is a new thing is coming in Pakistan. I think this such a short time, this 1 year, people are moving towards the batteries, BESS system. This is also a big initiative in
Mhm.
Pakistan. So which is taken by the industries in different areas of the country. So this is also a good thing. So now people are moving towards renewable energy. This is yeah,
So you can say it's a consumer-driven market now. So when what we see, that's actually an experience, or that is a development that and I've been in renewable energy for more than 25 years. That what we've seen coming kind of more because based on the cost competitiveness of renewables and the universal accessibility, but that means that Pakistan is now going through this process within a very short period of time. Is
Yeah,
this
exactly.
now? And I know that you personally have been involved in such a wind project, which is has such a contract with a company. That is a first of, or are there also other projects? What's at the moment the dimension when we talk about wind energy?
Okay, so if just only related to wind energy, so at this moment, I would like to mention the names of those projects as well, which we just,
Mhm. Please, yeah.
trying to convince them, and we just gave them, the we just let them know that if you will go for the wind, so how you can save your, the
Mhm.
big cost, and you will be more competitive in that case. So I would like to mention the name. The first project has happened, which is which is in operation phase right now,
Mhm.
and that was the Liberty Mills. That is the totally textile factory. So
Mhm.
they installed two turbines of 4.8 megawatt
Mhm.
Goldwind GW155 4.8 megawatt. That hub height is 95 meter for that
Mhm.
specific project. So they also have installed around 20 megawatt of solar, and now they're installing the BESS. So this was the first project which I have seen. So after that, we have signed the project with the Lucky Cement, which is the biggest group in Pakistan. That is Yunus
Mhm.
Brothers Group. So Lucky Cement is one of their business cement
Mhm.
factory. So they
Mhm.
installed 6 units of 4.8, total 28.8 megawatt, which is the
Mhm.
biggest, I think, in Pakistan as well, and biggest in maybe some Asian countries, but as a captive, as an industrial project at this moment. So they installed 28.8 megawatt of wind and 31 megawatt of solar, and now they are moving toward the BESS system as well. So they have, kind of different kind of energies: solar, wind, gas, diesel, and the grid. So they
Mhm.
have the combination of to just lower their cost.
Mhm.
So this is the second one, and third one is Yunus Textile Mills. It still belongs to the same group.
Mhm.
So the textile factory. So they installed 2 units of 4.8, and which is right now 48 megawatt is in operational phase at this moment. So I think at the end of this year we will deliver around 3 more units of 4.8 for different vessel spinning mills and Surti Enterprises and Atak Cement. So in kind of, Pakistan is kind of a trend market. So if
Mhm.
someone will go for some the specific and to promote something,
Mhm.
so people will follow them. Okay, this is the
Mhm.
good initiative, we should also
Okay.
go for this. And anyways, if they are located in in the wind corridor, of course they will go for that, because they have to be more competitive and they have the benefit of the wind. So of course they will try to achieve that. So this is what has I have seen these at this moment around 10 projects has been signed by
Well,
Goldwind.
that sounds so, but that means that this is makes the kind of normal promotion schemes like before the feed-in tariff and then later the auctions that makes it obsolete, no? Because it takes place outside of those systems. So you
Yeah,
have a development that is driven by mainly in this case by the industry because the industry wants this. They want the cheap and reliable power as well.
exactly. I think this is IPP. Every country have the IPP, but in Pakistan as well. But at this moment, I think this is the biggest. I think in since I joined the gold wind and I entered into the wind market, I think this was the new achievement. Except the government, government always
Mhm.
involved in some IPP project. There are some policies coming in, and even this is also part of the government policy. Okay, you can have maybe lower loan, low interest rate on loan maybe. So they have specific amount they have served for the to promote renewable energy kind of things. So
Mhm.
of course those who can get the benefit from this, they are trying to get as much as they can.
Mhm.
So I think this is the biggest change in Pakistan market since 2017. Yeah, the last project was happened in 2000 during COVID time. I think 2 or 3 years back, the 12 project has been installed, in which three belongs to Goldwind, another belongs to Gamesa.
Mhm.
So around right now, as you can say, around 1,842 megawatt has been installed. But this captive market is a new thing in Pakistan. It is quite impressive in such a short time.
I'll just ask you about that back, but you mentioned also now Siemens Gamesa. So can you explain a little bit when we talk about the wind power market, who are the main players? I mean,
Yeah,
who are
of course.
the equipment suppliers and who are the investors? So you mentioned already some of those textile companies. Are they the investors? And as far as I know, there are also developers and other companies that are investing. Well, how does that on the investors, operators side? And on the wind turbine manufacturer side, how is the situation?
Okay, just let me tell you one thing. In at this moment, before the captive market started, so before that, the Goldwind was the second number in Pakistan with a total
Mm-hmm.
capacity of 477 megawatt.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so GE was the number one, 500 megawatt,
Mm-hmm.
and Gamesa was 460 megawatt. So Gamesa was the number
Similar.
third. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
around similar. Yeah. So, but after installed capacity of captive market at this moment, so Goldwind is the market leader at this moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we hit total around, if we talk about around 530 megawatt we have installed at this moment. So
Mm-hmm.
we are the market leader at this time in the renewable energy sector. And we are, the gold. I would like to mention about the Goldwind. Goldwind, Goldwind have registered one company in Pakistan since 2017.
Mm-hmm.
So totally, to just promote the localization and to give the more comfort to the client. And we have Goldwind have their own um, in-house team of 60 professional engineers who are performing the O&M services in Pakistan.
Mm-hmm.
And Pakistan is kind of the regional base for the Goldwind at this moment. So from Pakistan, people get trainings, and then they will go to other countries as well in Sri Lanka,
Mm-hmm.
Dubai, Egypt, and Morocco as well. So this is what our strategy is. Okay, we should promote localization. We should train more people from Pakistan. They can go to other countries as well. People can have can explore more. So this is what our strategy is. So we also 2 years back we built a solution a repair center basically in Pakistan, in Karachi. So we have regional warehouse there where we
Mm-hmm.
install, where we keep all the spares for all the projects, which is located in Chimpir. So there is a GWO training center, and then there is SCADA monitoring system there. This is a one facility basically. So in that one facility we have these four different categories which we are offering to the customer. And this can give more comfort to the customer that okay, we are working with some professionals, so
Mm-hmm.
who can help to save the asset. So this is what Goldman is doing in Pakistan.
Now, I mean, of course, as you're working for Goldwind, you will, of course, you know very well how Goldwind is doing good work in Pakistan. Talking about your competitors, is there anyone who has a similar supply chain in Pakistan? What's the situation? I was told that there also some of your competitors have now withdrawn from the market. How is the
Yeah.
situation there?
Yeah. So if we talk about on this topic, so the at this moment, GE and Siemens Gamesa and Nordex and Vestas, these four players was present in the market. But
Mm,
at this moment, Siemens Gamesa have maybe they hired some third party for the
mm,
O&M services. They're not locally present in,
mm,
as I just mentioned, as a Goldwind.
mm.
So and Nordex is gone. They're not more they cannot supply anymore in Pakistan. They're just quitting the market. Even G is
Oh,
always
okay.
he's
Mhm,
already gone. G is don't want to invest or don't want to supply any turbine in Pakistan at this moment. Even Siemens Gamesa cannot because the maybe the market is getting more competitive at this moment. But if we talk about last 5 years, there was nothing in there's no movement in Pakistan wind market. So
mhm.
these all the players from as I just mentioned, GE, Siemens Gamesa, Nordex, Vestas, they are gone.
So is only
So
Goldwind left, or is there anyone else?
no, at this moment, just only the Goldwind is the equipment supplier for this
Okay. And that at the moment when you're telling me you spoke about an auction result, which is just was I think was came out yesterday with a
Yeah,
very low tariff.
yeah.
But if I understand you well, then you don't believe that that's kind of the main driver now. But again, now there's this new opportunity of supplying directly to industry. So that means that there must be a big growth potential. It's very unfortunate if at that moment there are some leaving. But how do you rate kind of the short-term market size for from the industry this demand? You have any ideas now or any plans? How many gigawatt you want to do in that sense?
Yeah, at this moment, especially for the wind energy, as I just mentioned, as you just want to ask that the competitive bidding result has been announced. So at this moment, uh, that competitive bidding has been take uh, how I can say that, yeah, that was by the KE, but still NEPRA have to approve that tariff.
NEFRA is a regulator, no? Just for
Yeah,
those people who
NEPRA is a
don't
regulatory
know.
authority in Pakistan. So
Mhm.
KE is kind of distribution company. So
Mhm.
KE manage this bid, but still they have to submit the bid reports to the NEPRA. NEPRA will take the final decision whether
Mhm.
this tariff is good enough or not. So so at this moment, for this competitive bidding was quite tough competition. So not the European brands were there, but just only the Chinese OEM were there. You can say the Goldwind, and Vian, Mingyang, Sany, and Windy. All the Chinese player were there.
Okay,
So
so the well-known Chinese brands now. Okay. Mhm.
yeah, exactly. So no European brands anymore.
Mhm.
Even this project was not small. That was around
Mhm.
150 to 170 megawatt of wind.
Mhm.
So that is anyone can come for to bid this project. So
Mhm.
but at this moment, so I think next week we can get the final result of this bid.
Mhm.
So who we know that the customer who won this project, but still the turbine has been not selected finally. So
Mhm.
maybe next week we can get the final results. So which turbine has been selected for this project.
Mhm.
So we are quite sure that yes, we will. we hope that we will be in this project. Yeah.
So there's still some adjustments regarding the result. You don't know that
Yeah.
yet
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Right.
eventually. But I mean, this is now one result. So you said that there is a big potential for the direct supply. Can you specify how big you expect that market to be? How
You
big
mean for the
the
captive market, right? The
yes.
industrial. So for industrial, when once we started this industrial market, we have observed that the areas, the Nuriabad and I mean Jimpir area or the Garo, so only that place have the wind. That is a wind corridor. So I
Mhm.
think the total capacity we think that is not more than 150 megawatt, because
Mhm.
no one, those are the industries who are located in wind corridor. So I think half of them already bought the wind
Mhm.
turbine and they already moved towards the renewable energy. So few of them are remaining. You can say around 76 megawatt has been sold, and around maybe 30-40 megawatt more, not more than that, just
Okay,
for
so
the,
there must be some additional changes. You
yeah.
also, at some point when we spoke, you mentioned that grid is still an issue. So is that something that keeps the market also back because the companies cannot connect to the wind farms? Is that an issue in Pakistan?
Yeah, at this moment, the project which already has been installed, they have the grid, but still we are facing transmission issues. The
Mhm.
grids are weak, so we're still facing a lot of curtailments on the wind power projects at this moment in Nuriabad. So yes, few of the projects cannot. There were few projects in pipeline which were going with the Goldwind, but at this moment, NTDC has mentioned that we cannot have the grid at this moment, and maybe they will able to supply the grid. I mean, in 2026 or 2027, that is for the 100 megawatt. So, but the grid which is already available, it is not quite stable. Though all the developers are facing a lot of issues because of curtailment. It is impacting
Mhm.
their the energy, the capacity requirement which they already promised to the government, and they cannot get the money back on time. So they are facing a lot of issues because of grid. So I don't think so there are new projects coming. This project I just mentioned for the KE. I think this is a very important project in terms of, because the KE is off taker. So they
Mm.
have people are very quite comfortable with KE.
The K is what? Can you just explain
K
again
Electric,
for?
K Electric, yeah. K Electric is the the distribution company in Karachi,
Mhm.
specifically for the Karachi area.
So it's the
So
kind of which is it a public utility?
yeah, of course it is public utility, right?
Mhm. So
So yeah, yeah. So right now they announced this bid. I think people are quite comfortable with them because in their grid is more stable and there is no curtailment on that. They can get the money back on time. So these are the few advantages. That's why the people want to they're happy to bid with the K Electric. So
Mhm.
as per information, that is there is one more project will come around 220 megawatt. Maybe
Mhm.
after, once this bid will be finalized and close all the matters, maybe then they will announce one more project, 220 megawatt, which is basically those that bidding will be happen by PBIB. I mean, uh, you can say ADB. So the Alternative Energy Development Board in Islamabad. So that will be held by them, but still off taker will be the K Electric. This is what we got some information. So at this moment, we can say just only 220 megawatt market is still in pipeline. So let's see when will be announced for that project.
Well, so the what you're presenting the situation is quite kind of not so clear on the one hand, describing that now the companies, not the elect energy companies, but the consumers are also developing. It was very interesting you said so they invest in solar, wind, and batteries and more. So maybe they build this new network which will be required. On the other hand, you said, yeah, at the moment, the potential, the direct potential when we talk about it's not so very big. What do you, how do you see the kind of the long-term future for wind power in Pakistan? What needs to be done? And I mean, I know you are a confident person. How do you see the prospects?
Uh, it's um, it's hard to say at this moment, because the wind, we already producing enough energy. I mean, before what we need in at this moment. Yeah,
Mhm.
as I mentioned before, at this moment we are producing around 43,000 megawatt or 44,000 megawatt. We are already in surplus.
Mhm.
So government is not even want to have any new project at this moment, because we are in surplus stage. So few areas have issues just because of transmission line, but it doesn't mean that we don't have enough energy. We have enough energy at this moment, but I don't think government want to have more projects, and they will announce more projects. I don't think that in next 3 5 years we will have maybe uh, as per today we can say maybe K Electric is the most potential party who can announce the RFP for wind energy around 500 megawatt.
But
Maybe for
isn't the
next
price, I mean,
years.
we talk about there's now enough electricity. Before you mentioned there is a problem with the supply even of coal, of gas, LNG gas.
Yeah,
So how is that related?
yeah. Of course. Still, I would like to add about the government is trying to secure the LNG from from different countries. They are
Mhm.
trying to secure, but it will be expensive, of course. But
Mhm.
because they cannot shut down those projects, because of course their project is already has been signed for 20 years, right? So government have to find a way how to facilitate to the those IPPs who are promoting who are having these projects based on coal or based on diesel or gas. So government are trying to facilitate them to at least those projects should be in running phase, so they can produce enough electricity which can fulfill the demands of the country. But because of this new government came in, no policy came in. Maybe anything can happen within next 1 year. It is very hard to say. because our government is also not stable. So we are not quite sure that what will happen in next 1 year or 2 years. But at this moment, what we are looking at, so I don't think there is more wind projects coming by the government, by the federal government. We don't have any hope from them at this moment.
Well, let's then hope that the development, that there will be enough kind of wisdom to then focus in the future more on the cheap wind and solar power, and that maybe
Definitely.
those driving forces can also help to get, help Pakistan to get rid of the dependence and this kind of, you mentioned also the problems with the International Monetary Fund and the public debt, which is related to that. Well,
Yeah.
this is very, very interesting, and I think then the Pakistani example is very important also for others to follow how this market, which is driven by the consumers, will develop, because this is, I believe, something that we will see in many, many more countries. Well, in this sense, that was very interesting to listen to you, talk to you about the development. I wish, of course, Pakistan all the best to find the right renewable energy pathway, and you personally, and also to Goldwind, a lot of success, business success also, because I think that's good for the country, and at the end of the day, also for the whole world.
Thank you so much, Mr. Stefan, for
Well,
inviting
with
me.
this, thank you also to our audience, and thank you for listening, and goodbye.
Thank you. Bye bye.